This week in the show, we're talking David Fincher's bleak masterpiece, Se7en. Stick around for a twist on a classic cat and mouse format, a bladed dildo, and to find out what was in that box. I'm David.
And I'm Caolan.
And this is Two Men, the podcast. Se7en.
I don't get it. It's not a V.
I know, yeah.
It's not. It's a dumb fucking.
It's like there was a hairdressers in Black Rock, and it was called Rock Paper, and everyone's like, oh yeah, that new place, Rock Paper Scissors, and I was like, right, well, it's not. It's called Rock Paper. The words on the sign are Rock Paper.
Yeah, but that's different because they have a scissor on it, don't they?
Yeah, they had a picture of a scissor.
That's different. That'd be like us calling it like Two Men in a Podcast, but with the number 2.
But there's no. Okay, yeah. Right, I'll give you that. But still, it was called Rock Paper.
Yeah, I get that.
And I disliked it.
I don't like the wee cute attachment of a name. Ugh, fuck off. You know Gwyneth Paltrow? She's like 22.
Is she?
Yeah.
I hate Gwyneth Paltrow.
Born in 71.
Isn't she got like candles that smell like her vagina or something?
Yes.
And she
Why are we not recording?
Oh, this is it. Yeah.
Oh, this is recording.
This is
Gwyneth Paltrow as.
And doesn't she live off sunlight as well? She doesn't eat.
Right, stop. We need to say hello before we start this shit because we can't double back.
No, this is it. We're in.
Right. I'm going to look up Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina right now, just as we...
She was also Brad Pitt's girlfriend at the time.
Was she?
Yeah.
Oh.
She
Brad
was...
Pitt's got some fucking, like, heavy hitters as, like, exes.
Jennifer Aniston.
Gwyneth Paltrow...
Angelina Jolie. They broke up, didn't they?
What'd you say? She lives off sunlight?
Yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow lives off sunlight.
She doesn't eat or anything. She just photosynthesizes.
I don't believe that's true.
No, I don't believe it's true. I think she tells people this, though.
No. All that's coming up here is sizzles in toned midriff.
Look up Gwyneth Paltrow photosynthesis.
Gwyneth Paltrow photosynthesis. No, nothing's coming up.
I'm so sure this is a thing.
It's definitely a different MCU woman.
No. It's definitely Gwyneth Paltrow. I'm going to go onto her Wikipedia page and just...
Oh wait, she did 90 minutes about integrated photosynthesis.
Yeah.
But it's not coming up as like headlines. It's like this is a conference she gave.
Yeah, about that humans don't need food, they can just photosynthesize.
Is that true?
No, it's not true.
So if I just lay in the sun?
Yeah, you will
we don't get enough sun to lie in.
That's exactly, yeah.
So maybe that's the key.
Yeah, maybe it just works in like LA or wherever the fuck she's from.
Well, she smells a candle. She probably smells it too. She sells a candle that smells like her vagine. It cost $58.
Fuck.
Which was pretty much what the sex dust cost. Which makes me think Gwyneth is underpricing her vagina really, if she is just selling it for the price of a load of old dust.
Gwyneth Paltrow is a singer as well.
A sinner?
Singer. Well, she's probably a sinner with a fucking vagina candle.
Right, so she's 47 now.
Yeah.
So this film came out 25 years ago. So she was 22. Imagine ever being the same age as Gwyneth Paltrow.
God. So I'm like 2 years away from Gwyneth Paltrow in 7.
Yeah.
I'm like a year and a month away from Gwyneth Paltrow in 7.
Yeah, I don't know when she turned 22.
So Se7en.
Se7en. Apart from the like stupid title, this is David Fincher. And what do you think of David Fincher's Se7en?
I love David Fincher's Se7en, as I love all of David Fincher's work.
All of David Fincher's work?
Well, I haven't seen all of it.
Alien 3.
Okay, yeah, no. I love Se7en, like I love most of David Fincher's work.
Although he does say that's not his film. But still,
he would say that.
Yeah, you would say that after Alien 3, I suppose. Yeah, this is a great film. Gwyneth Paltrow not even being in the top 4 build is a bit weird. But
yeah.
How is, on the top build cast on IMDb, Dead Man at First Crime Scene is billed ahead of Gwyneth Paltrow?
Surely that's an order of appearance.
Well, no, because Kevin Spacey's before him.
Okay, that makes no sense then. No, do you know what it probably does? It builds the top like 3 or something. And then it does an order of appearance.
Oh, he's also the writer of Se7en.
Oh, well, that's why.
Oh, maybe that's what it is, dude. But it also detective...
Oh, the dead guy. Yeah. The dead guy's a cameo from the writer.
Well, yeah, maybe that's why he's built ahead.
Yeah.
That takes away... Well, maybe he has. I don't know. I didn't research him because I didn't know who he was. Does he ruin the fact that the top 4 build actors all have Oscars?
I'd imagine so.
What a way to kill the vibe in this room.
Maybe he didn't. Maybe he's won an Oscar for something. All I know is when he moved to New York, he wrote this because this was during like the crack epidemic, and New York was basically just a fucking shithole.
Was, yeah.
Yeah, it still is. But.
Was a shithole. What else is... Fincher's like Gone Girl and
Mindhunter.
Zodiac.
Zodiac.
Yeah, he's Zodiac. And The Social Network, which sticks out as a outlier in this
yeah, still
psychological thriller kind of move.
Fincher's big thing is you have to like keep an eye on everything in Fincher's. Like there's so much, and like I think in pretty much every like big budget movie in the last like 20 years, you could not watch the movie and you know exactly what's going on. But with like Fincher, he does so much by like showing you instead of telling you. Like when Somerset and Mills have like their first meeting with the captain, and Somerset is like, I don't want this to be my last case, and it shouldn't be his first case when your man's not even there. Any other film made by any other person, Somerset would have walked out of the room and the captain would have been like, don't take it personally, he doesn't work well with others, or some stupid shit like this. You can see so much just by looking at the characters. Like Brad Pitt is like this kind of like immature, kind of childish character, and like even like his clothes are slightly too big for him. Like they're kind of hanging off him.
Very big.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just little things like this. And one scene where I noticed this, and it's so fucking good, is when Somerset comes over for dinner, and afterwards they start working. And Somerset is like really focused on the work, and you see Mills is kind of up and down. He's kind of trying to get away. And he's like, "Oh, do you want a beer?" And he asks him for a glass of wine, and he comes back with the wine in a normal glass.
Yeah.
And he gives it to Morgan Freeman, and
So much wine.
Yeah, and he doesn't even notice until the subway passes, and he picks it up, and he just gives it this look, and he's like, "What the fuck?" and puts it down. And it's something like if you're just watching the film, you pick up on it, but it, like I say, in most films, like that's just gone. It's like everything's just explained. Like
there's nothing that's by accident in these films.
Yeah.
What I will say is that's the best scene of the film.
That's
apart from
brilliant
the
scene.
ending.
Yeah.
I've picked up on this rule that it's not my creation, but I have picked it up, that any film, all the best films have great dinner scenes.
Yeah.
If this technifies as a dinner scene, because it skips dinner. But
there's a scene of them having dinner.
is there?
There is one of them sitting at the table.
Do you see Morgan Freeman put a piece of meat in his mouth?
No, would you see him with meat in front of him?
It's not dinner.
It is dinner.
You can't. No, I want the meat and dinner, David. Like if
I'm
you
sure
sat with dinner in front of you,
Yeah.
and then I took it away and put an empty plate, would you have had dinner?
Yes, because you wouldn't be able to take the food off me unless I was done.
Changing the rules a wee bit. Yeah, any great film has a dinner scene, and if it doesn't, it can't be a good film.
Okay,
That's the rule. It's like The Invitation. Yeah, Seven's great. That's all the scenes where they're just talking.
Yeah.
Are my favourites ones. Like it's the crime scenes and stuff are brutal.
I think the sloth scene is brilliant, where they're walking through and all the air fresheners hanging in the air.
Yeah, Sloth is ridiculous.
And actually, the SWAT guy didn't know that was an actor.
Yeah.
He thought it was a mannequin. So when he was like whispering to it, he didn't know that your man was about to fucking lose his shit.
Yeah, they hid that from them. That scene's horrific.
Yeah, it's awful. It's so fucking bad. And it's one of those scenes where it's like, obviously the characters don't know, but you know that there's still an hour left in the movie, so something's going to go wrong here. And it's done so well, so you just know there's this impending dread, and they walk into the room and all the air fresheners, the little trees. Oh, it's so creepy.
I think The Seven Deadly Sins is a great idea. Great idea of a serial killer movie.
Oh, yeah.
I think...
thought you were going to start, like, condemning people for having greed or some shit.
No, I do that on my days off. No, I just think it's such a good idea. I think it works so well. What doesn't work is putting 7 in the title, and I'm never going to get away from it. But it's not a V.
It's not a V at all. Wait till I get onto the sequel, A88. That's not a
trilogy.
Joke. There was an actual sequel planned for this.
What would that have gone with? The 8th Deadly Sin?
I don't know. No, Morgan Freeman was going to get psychic powers.
What?
He was going to get psychic powers out of absolutely nowhere, and he was going to be able to like start to see the future, and then he was going to like start solving crimes like that.
I think I'd be into that.
It was eventually made into a film called
film is
Solace with Anthony Hopkins. Apparently, it's awful.
I'm gonna watch it. Anthony Hopkins and Morgan Freeman.
No, Morgan Freeman
Oh,
quit. Morgan
okay,
Freeman walked out on that shit.
Yeah, I don't want it to do with it. It's not Invictus. Yeah, just because religion's weird, dude.
Yeah, to say there's religious overtones in this film is like to say there's superheroes in the MCU.
Yeah,
you know, it's not exactly a massive revelation.
Or like zombies in 28 Days Later.
Well, that's
it's just it beats you over the head with it.
Yeah. And like it's not even just the 7 deadly sins, but you've got like Somerset versus Mills, where Somerset has completely lost his faith. He thinks his job isn't doing anything, and Mills still has faith in the system. And then the kind of similarities between the two of them and John Doe, where like even John Doe kills the lawyer because he's been keeping murderers on the street. This should be completely opposite to Mills' belief, because he's got, you know, his faith in the system. But then he starts having a go at John Doe's lawyer at the end. And then with Somerset, the two of them, Somerset and John Doe both like despise apathy, and they're both like they've got like similarities. Both very meticulous kind of people.
Are we still allowed to say Kevin Spacey's great? Because it's a shame he is who he is.
Yeah, he is an
Because
awful man.
as an actor,
Oh yeah,
he is fantastic.
yeah.
The whole like touching boys thing is a bit of a shame. Because,
It is a shame that he is a pederast.
Yeah, because I would love to see more of Kevin Spacey films before he was a pedo.
Yeah,
So like looking back, like he's great in American Beauty. He's great in him playing a villain is he's great in Call of Duty.
haven't played.
He is the strong part of Advanced Warfare.
I haven't played
Ghost.
since.
It's one of them
It's
bad
not
ones.
Ghost. It's not
It's
Ghost.
one of the bad ones. Then it's Advanced Warfare.
Yeah.
The only reason to play through it is Kevin Spacey.
Have you seen Kevin Spacey's YouTube channel?
I did not know there was a
It's-
Kevin Spacey.
It's terrifying. There's one he released it. I think he released it last Christmas, and it's just him sitting in front of a fireplace, like to the side, kind of, and he starts talking about this year. Why don't you kill your enemies with kindness and all this? And it just slowly.
Is this pre or post?
This is post. This is like just last year, and it starts slowly zooming in on the fire behind him, and it goes do do do. It's an experience. I think that's all I can say about it.
Is that what he does now? YouTube
I think he's released 2 videos, but yeah, that's what he does now. YouTube.
and reads.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because they had that whole thing with House of Cards
Yeah,
where they like just killed him off, not mid-season, like in between seasons.
yeah,
Which is why I never got around to watching House of Cards. I tried the first episode of House of Cards. He strangles a dog,
That's
and
like
I've
the first
seen
scene.
that like 8 times because I kept trying to watch it. It's like Peaky Blinders, but I just couldn't get into it.
yeah. I watched up until I think it dipped in like season 4 or 5, which I think was a season. I think it was the season before he got cut. It started to dip, and I didn't finish that season.
Yeah, I never got. Once I copped on, he wasn't in it. I was like, well, yeah. Back to the film he's in.
Yeah,
It doesn't affect. I feel like it's weird for us from our perspective
yeah,
because the idea of keeping Kevin Spacey out of the market and stuff doesn't have anything to do with us. Because I doubt you watched trailers before you seen Seven.
no.
And you wouldn't have seen like just because he's not in the front credits. I don't think.
Like I appreciate the.
I love the idea.
I love
is
the idea,
great.
but like
and I'm
it
sure
obviously
it
wouldn't
worked
have.
perfectly back in '95. But
Yeah.
it's just from our perspective, I find it weird. I'd love to know someone who saw it in the cinema.
Yeah,
Like I also don't know how big is Spacey's profile back then.
that was right when he exploded. It was like I think it had been. I think it might have been during the production of this. The Usual Suspects came out,
Right.
and something else. He was in
American
something
Beauty's
else.
around '95, isn't it?
It might have been.
2000s.
It might have been American Beauty.
American Beauty. No, American Beauty's '99.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's just picking up. So he's not someone you wouldn't recognize. Yeah, so the idea of keeping him away and just how randomly he just comes in too.
yeah.
Like, he just walks in covered in blood, no fingers.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Detective."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Because up until that point, it's a classic. It's
Criminal
a classic
Minds episode.
Yeah, it's a classic detective versus serial killer movie.
Criminal Minds?
Whatever.
SVU, whatever. Criminal Minds
Law and
Special
Order.
Victims Unit. Yeah.
That's Law and Order at SUVU.
Criminal Minds Los Angeles, yeah.
Oh,
NCIS Minds. I know what you're talking about.
So up until then, it's classic kind of cop versus serial killer thing, and then he just shows up and completely turns it on its head.
I want to see a version of this film where his plan doesn't work. I want to see a version of this film where Somerset finds her head and just takes the gun off Brad Pitt.
That is
And
also
he just hits her.
That's also what all the.
Oh, I
producers
know,
wanted,
yeah. I want to see this version. I'm glad they went with this version.
Yeah.
But just to see how funny it would be if it didn't work.
Yeah. Well, like, what were some of the plans? Some of the plans was his dog's head was going to be in the box instead.
Yeah.
Which that's so much
would
worse
be
than
so
Gwyneth,
much worse, yeah.
So much worse than Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
I'd put 12 Gwyneth Paltrows in a box before a dog.
Yeah. Then Tracy was going to be kidnapped instead.
And
or
then
something.
they had to race to save her.
Yeah, or some shit. And they made the writer change it. And then when they sent scripts out to people, they sent David Fincher the wrong script, which was this script, the one that actually got made into
Sent
the
him
film.
the good one to trick him.
Yeah, exactly. So he got on board with that.
Yeah, because they all threatened to like stop.
Yeah, Brad
And
Pitt tried him to walk off.
You gotta love that commitment to the bit.
Yeah,
I want some Brad Pitt love, David,
yeah,
because I've come to really love Brad Pitt. It's weird that he's credited as the producer of Moneyball and not the star.
yeah.
But I'm just looking through his stuff here, like he's in so many great things.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, is this his second? We haven't had him on anything else, have we?
No, that's it.
Second film we've done of him.
Yeah.
He's in like
He's in a load of good
Moneyball,
shit,
he's in
yeah.
Once Upon a Time, he's in fucking
Mr. and Mrs.
Ad
Smith.
Astra.
I haven't seen
Mr.
that.
and Mrs. Smith, yeah. Yeah, he's just in so many great things.
He wasn't first choice for Mills. Do you know who was? Denzel Washington. Turned it down because it was dark and evil. And then Sylvester Stallone also turned it down.
Yeah, that's a great.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
That's a great thing.
I can't imagine him.
Can you picture Rocky doing this film?
Yo, Somerset, I mean...
What's in the box? What's in the box, Somerset? And he wouldn't have shot him, he'd have punched his head off.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I would hate the idea of Sylvester Stallone in this film.
And Somerset was initially supposed to be Al Pacino. I could get on board with that.
Yeah, he doesn't have the like soft, caring tone of Morgan Freeman.
No, he'd be much more...
It'd be a much darker version of Somerset.
I don't think he would have talked to Tracy about being pregnant.
Pregnancies, yeah. Yeah, he doesn't strike me as the type to be so loving at the dinner table.
Scarface.
Yeah. Al Pacino would be great in this film.
Yeah. And John Doe was originally supposed to be played by either Val Kilmer or Michael Stipe from REM.
Yeah, we'd leave it at Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
None of those are as intriguing as Al Pacino's version of Se7en.
Yeah. Val Kilmer is one of those weird people that, like, all I know him from is Batman, but apparently he's, like, a big actor. And I've never seen him in anything.
Val Kilmer?
Yeah. Look, check Val Kilmer.
He's in The Doors.
Never seen him.
Oh, I have no idea.
Never heard of it.
The Doors, The Saint, Kiss Kiss Gay Perry. Oh no, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang plays Gay Perry.
Okay.
Not a whole lot I'd expect you to have seen. Like. Not that I've seen them either. Oh, he's in Knight Rider. He plays the car.
Wait, what?
He plays the car in Knight Rider.
He's fucking Kit.
Yeah, he's Kit. That's pretty much.
Is that what he's known for? Like, he was fucking...
It might be.
David Hasselhoff's car.
He shows up as a Sherpa in Entourage.
I doubt that's his biggest role.
No, it's probably Kit or The Doors.
Or Batman.
The Doors is what he's like held up at. Oh, he's in Heat. He's in Batman Forever. What are we talking about?
So Se7en.
Se7en, yeah. Who is your highlight of this film? And why is it Gwyneth Paltrow?
No, do you know who my highlight is? I don't know his name, but it's the slimy FBI agent that he goes to for the, like, library records.
Oh, yeah.
Who I fucking knew I recognised him, but I didn't know where he's from.
This isn't the guy, this isn't the one who's like, how's this for culture? No, this is the same scene, is it? Where he's like...
Where he goes in...
They play music and they're like... Oh,
culture. No.
No, different scene.
No, this is when they go to the diner to meet with the FBI guy.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry.
And do you know who that is?
Go.
It's Bobby from Sons of Anarchy, with no beard.
Is it?
Yeah, because I knew I recognised his fucking face.
Wow.
No idea. He's Bobby from Sons of Anarchy. He was also...
Bobby from Sons of Anarchy is the only thing we need here.
Flass from Batman, Jim Gordon's partner. And he was in an episode of The Mandalorian I watched yesterday. So
Fat Elvis.
Yeah, Fat Elvis. And I just... Because I saw him with no beard and I was like, who the fuck is that? Because he kind of looks a bit like Michael Madsen in this film.
Oh, in this maybe.
In this film, without the beard.
I can't picture him in this.
Because I knew I recognised him. And I was like, who the fuck is that? But yeah, it's fucking Fat Elvis from Sons of Anarchy.
I'll take that. My highlight of the film is fucking...
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Dead man at first crime scene.
Dead man, the writer.
Kevin Spacey is so good in this. I'm so upset that he's a pedophile. Because this whole... I would love if Kevin Spacey wasn't touching kids. Because how good is Kevin Spacey as an actor? I can't get over how good Kevin Spacey is in this film.
I'm gonna exclude myself in this conversation.
He should feel hard done by to not be on our list at all last week.
I kind of left him off because he, touches kids.
But you mentioned him too. You brought him into my consciousness.
Did I?
Yeah, about that tinnitus
film.
film.
Yeah, Baby Driver. Yeah, he was in Baby Driver.
Yeah, it's a shame he touches kids. Good thing we don't have sponsors. But
yeah, be sharp left.
Yeah, Spacey's my highlight here, if I'm allowed to say that nowadays. I'm glad he's not in films now. Yeah, so it's either him or Brad Pitt. This is young Brad Pitt too. When you look at Leo now and you look at Brad Pitt now and look at their younger selves, it's like the exact same trajectory of kind of like Leo's better looking now, but Brad Pitt has that like rough thing.
Exactly.
Like if you look at Brad Pitt in this film, or even in that episode of Friends he's in, and then Leo in The Beach, they could be, I believe, them going to Ponza for like a 6-year holiday.
Yeah.
They look like the lads. Right, before we wax more lyrical on this film that we haven't talked about at all, I want to go into our new favourite segment.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
IMDb user reviews. I only have 4 this week, and I'm going to try and mix them up a wee bit. We started this to point out how much the IMDb user review don't know how to use a title.
Yeah.
So,
or a rating system.
Or
anything in general.
So I'm going to go with this one first. My last one is the highlight of this. This one is the McDonald's of horror films.
2 out of 10.
It's a 1 out of 10.
Fuck.
He says, wow, there are a lot of bad films out there, but even with the worst of the worst, there is some redeeming quality. 7? I, for one, would like to point out that it's not a horror film.
Yeah, that is true.
And I quite like McDonald's.
I don't like McDonald's.
So I will not let him away with it. 7 does not get a 7 from me.
It gets a 10.
It's a 6. I thought you might get it just because it teases what it could be.
Yeah, I probably should have got that.
He does say, admittedly, this type of film isn't for him.
At least he admits it.
2 homicide detectives must track down a serial killer who uses the 7 deadly sins as his guideline for killing.
I love people who just put a fucking synopsis.
Yeah,
That's not helpful at all. 8 out of 10.
On the dot.
Oh, get it.
Is that the first one you've got right?
Yeah, it is.
And he continues his, like, I didn't open up the full review to screenshot it, but his thing is just Detective Somerset's years as a homicide detective have come down to their last 7 days. He has closed many. He's selling this film.
Yeah,
he's not reviewing it. He's selling it.
He's giving you the fucking synopsis.
Alarming, downright chilling. The count begins.
Is this another review?
Yeah,
That's a 9.
it's a 5.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds. I like if someone said that about a film, I'd go and watch that film.
Absolutely one of the best shockers to come along in a very long time.
5 out of 10.
Don't be ashamed if you flinch, hide your eyes, or redecorate the chair you're sitting in. This movie is powerfully good.
And he gave it a 5 out of 10.
He thinks it's a 5 out of 5, or like a 5-star film.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's 5 stars out of 10,
Yeah.
so he might think it's a 5-star movie.
I've never reviewed something on IMDb.
No, I haven't either.
But I'd imagine it's pretty obvious that it's out of 10.
I can't imagine how difficult it is. I'll have a look after this. And this is the last one where I maintain these people aren't all there 90% of the time. His review is just, I don't know how it ends. He doesn't know how it ends, David.
3 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
2 out of 10, okay. I get it. Without the ending, it might be as good a film.
I'm going to just quickly get the bullet points of his review here. Once an actor has been in a movie with an evil counterculture end, and as the bad guy, I don't trust movies that actor is in anymore. Kevin Spacey is one such actor. I was half watching Se7en for a long time while doing some computer work, thinking I wish I knew where the remote control was. Near the end, I realised that Kevin Spacey was John Doe, but he was in jail, so I let it go on a little longer. When I heard Morgan Freeman say that John Doe had the upper hand, I had to get up fast and change the channel. I still don't know how it ends. There really should be a rating system that a movie has a bad ending so that guys like me don't get suckered into watching crap like this. What I will call out Biz and Plez for is he doesn't know it's a bad ending because he doesn't know how it ends.
Yeah, exactly.
He saw that Kevin Spacey had the upper hand and just turned it off. So we gotta respect his commitment to this, to the cultural shift around House of Cards actor. I'll use this as a nice wee segue back to 7 because he doesn't know how it ends, but how it does end is fantastic.
Yeah, oh, it's brilliant. The ending is fantastic.
The
it's
last
wonderful.
10 minutes when they get in the car and the whole drive over, from then on, it is edge of your seat stuff.
Yeah.
Like, when it's films I've seen a few times like this, where like, even Jaws and stuff, you kind of like, you know, you're not always 100% in it. You kind of you're watching to like more review bullet points than you are. But what I will say is for the first 10 minutes, I was like, not too focused, and I just couldn't turn away then. 7's so good.
Brilliant, yeah.
When John Doe, Brad Pitt, and Somerset are just shooting off on each other.
Yeah.
It's so great. Morgan Freeman somehow running fast enough to stop Brad Pitt from just kicking the piss out of Kevin Spacey is insane. I don't believe Morgan Freeman runs
How
far
old
enough.
was he then?
What is he now?
I think he's like 200.
He is.
He's been 80 my whole life.
He's been around for so long.
Yeah.
Is he 80 now though?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he was
Will
like...
IMDb give me his age?
They should do. Or just Google...
I know, but Morgan Freeman was born in 1937.
You want to do the maths or will I tell
He
you?
is 83.
Yeah, 83.
Yeah, that's mental.
So,
So he would have been 60.
hang on. One of the top questions, I just Googled Morgan Freeman, and one of the top questions is, how did Morgan Freeman lost his hand?
Did he lose his hand?
Does he...
Well, click the answer.
Freeman has had to wear the compression glove since 2008 after he was involved in a car accident in which his vehicle flipped and rolled. He's suffered nerve damage and his left hand is paralysed. Whoa.
Oh, did not know this.
Yeah, since 2008.
What's he been in since 2008?
No.
He has been
Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, but his hands aren't too big a thing in that, are they?
Don't know.
He's not like... He could have them... Like, he's in... No, that would have been out before it, maybe. Invictus is 2009, but presumably would have been filmed before his car accident.
Also, speaking of broken hands, that chase scene where Brad Pitt's chasing John Doe through the street.
And he breaks his face.
Yeah, he actually fucking sliced his arm open, like to the point where David Fincher could see bone. Yeah, and so that's why they worked in his injury, just so they didn't have to like delay shooting, so he has a broken hand for the rest of the film.
Yeah, that makes sense actually. Speaking of what Morgan Freeman is in, he is in that film Las Vegas.
This is the one with like Michael Caine and the other old guy.
Michael Douglas, Morgan Freeman, Robert De Niro, and Kevin Kline.
Calvin Klein.
Kevin.
Oh, okay, right.
Not
Who the fuck is Kevin Klein?
not underwear
yeah,
designer Calvin Klein.
I was wondering, who the fuck's Kevin Klein?
He's in like Wild Wild West, Dave, A Fish Called Wanda. He's like this like time capsule of an
He's just an
actor, like.
old man.
Yeah, he's another old guy to be
Okay.
a granddad with him.
I was so sure more Michael Caine was in that film.
I remember watching it when it came out because I thought it might be hilarious. And at the time I thought it actually was pretty funny, but I guarantee it wouldn't be now. 50 Cent's in it.
For fuck's sake. Have you ever played the 50
As
Cent?
50 Cent.
Have you ever played the 50 Cent game?
No,
It's brilliant.
but
It's,
I will not.
it's awful.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
don't believe it's very
he
good.
goes around just killing people. And it's got a very loyal fan base who are big fans of 50 Cent and are very willing to overlook the flaws in the gameplay and just abuse anyone who says it's a bad game.
Flaws in the gameplay and flaws in the man.
Yeah.
But I am right, David. Have you any last thoughts on Se7en?
Bladed dildo.
Yeah, you're obsessed with this.
It's why would you make that for someone?
I don't know.
That's not going to be used in like any sort of like consensual sexual act.
Definitely not.
And he just made it like, oh, and he says like something like, oh, I thought he was one of those like stage performers who pees on stages or something. It's like, why would you need
that is a jump.
why would you need a bladed dildo for that?
Yeah, it is a jump to pee on a stage and use a bladed dildo.
Yeah.
I will stress that.
Also the pride where he glued the phone to her hand and then the sleeping pills to her other hand.
Oh, yeah.
That was very fucking dark.
Well, the whole film's dark.
Yeah, but that in particular, that this woman decided to kill herself rather than live with, disfigured face. I mean, surely she could have got surgery.
That is like what did they do? This is
Social commentary.
yeah, social commentary. That's
Some good commentary there.
some good commentary from David Fincher.
Yeah.
That's all I've got for
Yeah.
Se7en.
Pretty much.
Well, I will say, decent movie.
Yeah. Would recommend.
Hashtag watch.
Hashtag watch it.
Hashtag watch. Yeah, watch to see the redemption of Kevin Spacey. David, you've brought a recommendation this week,
I have brought a recommendation this week.
and you actually remembered this.
I actually did this week, yeah. My recommendation of the week is Vice, which is on Amazon Prime.
Which is
The Life of Times of Dick Cheney, who was George Bush's vice president. And he's played by Christian Bale. And the physical transformation alone is incredible in this film.
Bale does that.
Yeah, I read up and he did like a special exercise for 6 months to make his like neck fatter. And it's incredible. Because Dick Cheney is like, he is the world's supervillain. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's if the world was like if there was a comic book about like our world, Dick Cheney would be the fucking supervillain. He's like fucking Lex Luthor. If you ever want to know why there will never be like a politically progressive president in the White House in the States, just watch this movie because it's mental the shit they do. Like they have this in England as well. Back in I want to say the 70s or the 80s, they introduced this thing called the death tax. And do you remember in The Gentleman, the way all the aristocrats have like no money?
Yes.
So this is like the death duty. So every time you inherit a fortune, you have to pay a huge amount off
Okay.
it. So in America, what Cheney set up this kind of like, I forget what it's called, but it's basically this publication that will spin all this stuff. So they spin it as death duties. You are the death tax. And it's like, oh, the government wants to tax you for dying. And in reality, it's if you're leaving an inheritance of more than, or if you're receiving an inheritance of more than 400,000, you get taxed on this. But they just spin it like it's the death tax, like the fucking Democrats want to tax you for dying. Like that's how mental this is. And they got a load of people on board and they got rid of this stuff. And really, it didn't affect anyone. It didn't affect like 80% of the population. But that 20% was saving huge money. And that 20%, well, it was that like that top 1% was saving billions, basically. And they're the ones that pretty much control all the fucking government.
Vice on Amazon Prime starred Christian Bale.
And Amy Adams, I think.
Oh, I love Amy Adams.
Amy Adams as his wife, who's also a fucking despicable woman. She's
I love Amy
just
Adams.
awful. Or it might be Rachel McAdams.
Oh, well, either one.
No, it's Amy Adams. We're good.
We would take Rachel McAdams too.
Also, Sam Rockwell's in it as George Bush. And I love Sam Rockwell in everything.
That's a good threesome to try to trick me in with.
And Steve Carell.
Oh, well, I'm in. I'll watch Vice now. When did this film come out?
Recently enough, last 5 years.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
You've convinced me.
Alright.
That will be my plans either tonight or tomorrow night.
Yeah, so next week we're covering Vice.
Vice next week. Where can people find us?
People can find us 2 Men 1 Pod on Twitter, 2 Men and a Pod on Instagram, 2 Men the Podcast on YouTube, and 2menthepod@gmail.com.
Next week, we will not be covering Vice.
Sadly, no.
We will be covering the 2-season Netflix series based on Caroline Kepner's book series. We'll be covering You.
Yeah, You.
With the 3rd season coming next year.
One of the most annoying titles in TV, because I remember someone told me to watch it, and I was at the library.
I promise it was me.
No, it wasn't you. This was up in college, but someone told me to watch it. So I was watching it up in the library, and they were like, they'd like text me like, "You busy?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm just watching You."
Yeah, it does come across a bit.
And I was like, and then like 2 minutes later, they didn't reply, and I was like, I should probably clarify that. So I text back and was like, "You, the TV show that you just told me to watch."
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it does come. It's a thing you can't really do with a show. Like, whereas the first book's called You, the second one's Hidden Bodies.
Yeah, okay.
So you can't really change the second season of a name. So
Hidden Bodies.
Hidden Bodies. You season 2.
Even I'm watching Hidden Bodies.
Yeah.
Not great.
You too.
You too.
Right. Well, we'll see you next week for You.
See you next week.